Go. And we're live, probably. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the podcast about future of the professional education. And I hope everything works on YouTube. So please write something on the chat if it works. It also will give us feedback. And my guest today is Łukasz Ziobroń. He is founder of Coder School, computer programmer, and C++ instructor. And the funny story about our podcast is that, probably a few days ago, I've sent a newsletter for my subscribers, and I've shared this idea of create cohort-based school. And actually, Łukasz was one of the he was one of the guys and girls who actually replied something like this: Bart, it's very interesting. I am doing it already. and so I decided just to talk with him, and we didn't talk before. I don't know, Łukasz, how many minutes we talked? Like 5 maybe?
Yeah, just a couple of minutes. So first of all, hello everyone.
Yeah,
hello Bartek, thanks for invitation.
Yeah, but actually Łukasz is so fascinating person that I decided to invite him for a podcast, and we will talk today for the first time for 2 and 3 hours about the education, about the future of education. And yeah, we will see where it goes. Guys, so you are on the chat, you are writing that everything is okay, so we will just continue. So this will be a long podcast, like 2 or 3 hours. It will be deep dive conversation. We have agenda for it, we have questions, but we will see where it goes. We don't have really strict plan for this talk, and I think it will be fascinating to hunt for some deeper thoughts about it. So actually, Łukasz, I have first question for you. What is different between your C++ course and Udemy courses? What is different?
Oh, it's a lot of stuff. First of all, let's start with the phrase of maybe cohort-based courses, but in fact, I have learned this phrase from you. I didn't know that something like this exists, but let me now go into the definitions. I'll just mention the things that are really different. So first, we not have, maybe in this edition, we have pre-recorded version of this course, but in the first edition, everything was live. So we had online classes, we had our chat on Discord, our server that we can respond to everyone, help with problems. We also had projects, homeworks, and trainer was responsible for checking people's homeworks, making a code review. So there were also group projects. So something that is really unusual in online courses nowadays, because people could learn how to cooperate with each other, how to assemble the code together, not be the part of the whole community, not do everything on our own, on its own. So that's the main.
So they have to do something during the course, not only watch videos, right?
No. Of course, they had to do a few things. So maybe they could finish the course on many different ways. And first and the most obvious was just by delivering homework and making some group projects. But there are also some additional things in which they could earn some points, because we just earned, there were no grades like in normal school, but we just have points for each task. And they could also earn these points, for example, by doing a code review, which means just taking a look into another people's code and commenting if it looks fine for them or not. Or they could also let their own lessons, for example, about design patterns. So people who just feel comfortable can also be teachers. That's something really crazy and completely different, even in normal school.
So there are projects and people give feedback to the projects of other people. So you are not the only one instructor to give people's feedback. Is it true?
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
And I especially recommend everyone just to start with code review, even if they don't spot anything uncommon or everything looks fine for them. They can just approve it that it looks fine for me. And that's it. If people can start like this, they can, by the time they will be just able to spot something, some bugs in other people's code or maybe some formatting issues, but it's strictly about programming right now. I don't know if we should go on that level, but I guess our viewers are also in programming topic. I don't know if should I go further into details in this way?
Yes, probably. We will come back to that. But I have another question regarding results. What are actually results of the course?
Results. So you mean the success rate or what people have in their portfolio?
Please define success and results. What is success of the course in your, I don't know, in your approach?
Okay, in my approach, from my perspective, the success rate is how many people have passed the course successfully. But from people's perspective, it's the success is if the course can allow them to meet their goals, for example, get a job or be better at university. So you can see that it's really different. So from my perspective, if we are talking about the success rate, there are really plenty of people who pass this course successfully. And from the first edition, from 89 participants, there were, let me check, 64 people who have passed this course in intermediate level. It was something in half of the course, so it's 72%. And there were 47 people, which means 52% of people who have passed the course successfully. There was also something like a certificate with distinction, and 19 people have earned this kind of certificate, which means that they were highly engaged participants. And this is something that I really love, that I'm not the only person who is, let's say, engaged for it to succeed, for it to just to be a good course, because these people also are like mentors and teachers. And I suppose that in the next edition, they will be mentors for another group. So
approximately 20% of students earned certificate with distinction. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is interesting because, for example, when I am checking stats and results of more passive courses, like courses based only on watching videos, maybe doing some materials, like self-based courses, you can think about, I don't know, Udemy, Skillshare, or some other platforms, or, I don't know. I see, and even in my course, I see that 20% of people are actually engaged. They actually finished the course. And like half of the people bought the course but didn't do anything or didn't do anything yet. They just postponing doing the course for the some of the for the future that maybe Maybe they will never actually do the course, but 20% are actually engaged, and maybe a few percent are people who are really engaged, like as you said, with distinction. So we can make a statement that cohort-based courses are a few times more effective in terms of how many people actually doing it and complete it than self-paced courses.
Yes, they are, because there are many mechanisms that allows people to be better motivated.
Please elaborate.
And
what kind of mechanisms, except the price,
In fact, yeah, the price is one of them. There is something in the psychology that if the course is worth more money, then you will be more engaged, because you think that it's such a big expense, then it needs to give me something, and you engage more automatically. But it's only one of those aspects. But generally, everything comes from psychology, or also andragogy, which means teaching adults. That's something on which I base my knowledge, how to design my courses. Motivation comes from a few elements, and being a part of a community is another really good motivator. In general, everyone, I hope, will agree that it's much easier to go to the gym if you are going with someone, or if you have a personal trainer, right? Because if you don't want to come, then it's not like, oh, it's raining, so maybe today I will not go, but there is another person counting on you. So you can't let her down. And based on that, it's just a simple psychological trick that allows people to be better motivated, especially if they really don't want to do something. And another thing is that on Udemy, you have self-paced courses, so people can do these lessons whenever they want, usually later, because there is never a perfect time for them. And in cohort-based approach, when we have online lessons, people just, even if they don't have time to finish their homeworks, but there is a next lesson, they will simply go, because they will be one more time a part of the group and the community, that they can ask the trainer about anything, and they can simply learn just from being there, not only by doing the homework.
Yes, but Łukasz, actually all the courses advertise themselves that there are some kind of community, like Facebook group or Slack, weekly meetings on Zoom, something like this. What is different in your community than in other courses communities, like this most self-paced? What is actually different in this community?
I wouldn't say that all of them, okay, but what is different? From the beginning, I try all the people to feel safe. Safe mean they can simply ask about anything, even so simple things that I don't know. Some people may think that it's a really one of those stupid questions, but let's say there are no stupid questions in my groups. So first we need to build the trust. People need to be aware that there is nothing bad in asking questions and in not understanding the topics. And this is something that school does in a wrong way, because if you don't understand something, and for example, if you even ask for it, or you admit that you don't know something, you can just earn not a good grade, or you can be even punished for that. We don't have any punishments. There are no negative points. There is nothing. You can even deliver the first homework, the first that was, for example, in the beginning of our course, at the end of the course, and you got no negative points. You can just don't have a bonus for being on time, but there are no negative points. So first is the atmosphere. I try to build the atmosphere of trust and show people how to approach to others. So how to give a feedback without scaring others. So don't be aggressive. Don't show that I'm better. There is no competition. In fact, there is cooperation. And simply, I think that's exactly that thing. Maybe something what may be worth mentioning here. Do you know Gallup's Strengths Finder test?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so two
What
of
are yours?
my highest talents are empathy and relator. So I guess that it really helps me with this approach. So I really like one-on-one conversation, but we usually don't have one-on-one conversations during our classes, but simply there is a relation between us. So there is a relation, and empathy allows me to do something that many teachers cannot, because there is a phenomenon called, what was the name? Sorry, I forget. A curse of knowledge, yeah.
Yes, curse of knowledge.
Curse of knowledge is if you don't know how it is to not know something, and you try to explain it to people just if they know something. But if you have a jigsaw puzzle, for example, and you are telling where to put this element, but you don't know that people are missing all the elements around, they can do nothing with this knowledge. So first you need to work out, you need to find out which of the elements are missing. And even if they are missing, for example, element from the top, maybe they can attach it to the element from left or right. And my role as a trainer is to get to know that. So I don't know how, but let's say it's in my personal traits, that I can simply forget something and know how to feel without such a knowledge, and how to explain to people how to put this piece into their jigsaw puzzle.
Where did you learn it? It looks like a super skill, yeah, just to know how to explain complex things to beginners or almost beginners. How did you train for that?
But I can tell you my my history, let's say. So I guess that I started teaching my sister, helping her with her homeworks at school. Then during my studies, I was a co-repetitor, so I was a tutor. I was teaching other people maths and programming as well. And later, after that, when I started my professional job, I had a really nice team in which there were people who were sharing knowledge maybe not very easily, but they were very eager to share their knowledge. And I thought that it's really great team. And thanks to them, I just wanted to share the knowledge too, because I could see that they are sharing something, they tell me about something, and I was a junior without any knowledge, and simply I tried to find a way that I can share to them any of my experience. And by the way, it was a programming company, and I shared my knowledge about HDR photography. I don't know if it was useful for them, but just for me, for the training, how to teach other people, it was a really nice start. And the next useful thing is being a Scrum Master, at least for me. Scrum Master, maybe people who are not in IT, Scrum Master is a person who is responsible for making the team effective, just in simple words. And the best Scrum Master is when nobody needs a Scrum Master. So if everything works fine and the team can speak easily, they have all the things and all the problems are solved before they appear. So that's the best way. So Scrum Master role requires a very good soft skills. And while I was a Scrum Master, I guess that I gained really nice soft skills that are really useful in my job nowadays. So it's not only teaching skills. but also some managerial skills, some coaching skills, I don't know, persuasion, even something like that. How to convince people that they don't suck and they are really okay and their knowledge is good, because many people are under motivated, or they have very low self-esteem. And it's usually because of experience with school education or studies, education and studies in Poland or anywhere.
Yes, I think that it's very powerful, because also I see the pattern in some instructors that are around me or my company, that there are usually good teachers if they are also managers, or they were managers. I don't know why. Maybe you explain it, but it's maybe a little bit counterintuitive, yes, because we should expect that super experts, super specialists, super programmers would be good teachers, but
No,
it's
it
not.
never comes together.
It's not a pattern, yeah. But if we have good programmer who also has some experience with teaching younger people at the past, I don't know, maybe cousins or sisters, brothers, plus a manager or scrum master, it looks like a recipe for maybe not for success, but to increase probability to be actually effective instructor.
And before I answer to that, usually in corporations, people who are very good programmers are then promoted to be a manager. So they are losing a very good programmer, and they just have a really weak manager. But if there is someone who have good skills, who has a good programming and managerial skills, then there is, in fact, as you have said, higher probability that this person will also be better at teaching people. I know many programmers who are really, really great, but they simply can't explain anything to others. And sometimes I have thought that maybe they don't want to lose their position, to lose their job. They don't want to share their knowledge, but later I realized that simply they don't have such a skill and they don't know how to do it. But it's something that we can see everywhere in corporations. It's not only presentation skills or speaking skills, but it's very useful. You also, I know what I can tell you here. Motivation is the key, as I already said, but do you know what is the best book for managers and scrum masters?
Surprise me. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I will just check the title.
You can show us.
Okay, but first I need to Google.
Okay.
Wait, I wanted a book. This one. No, I will first tell you. There is a book, surprise, how to speak to... Co zrobić, aby dzieci nas słuchały? It's the Polish title. How to
speak
talk
to children.
Your people. How to speak to children.
How to speak to children.
And this is the best book for Scrum Masters and managers, really. After you read a book like this, you can see that you can apply all of those tricks to adults. And usually I don't know how it is, but usually they are not quite good on kids, but they are better for adults, for adult people. And you can start with that. And everything goes, it's about motivation. So how you cannot convince a kid to make something just because you wish him or her to do it. You need to motivate these children to do it. And if you can motivate people, then you can achieve more. Someone can say that it's even a persuasion or something like this. But don't overuse it.
I like to say, if somebody asks me actually, what is the online course? What is the online course? I like to answer, it is the art of communication. It's like it's on all the levels. Yes, like marketing and promoting sales and communicating value of the course and stuff like this, and then actually communicating our lectures, and then with people on the classroom, on the forums. We have to be master communicators to be good online teachers. But I want to go back and dive deep into the community aspect of the course, because this is actually what distinguishes cohort-based courses from self-based. What kind of a tool you are using to communicate? Are you using Slack, Discord, and does it really matter? Or what tools
have
are there?
Discord as our chat. There are plenty of tools, and in fact, if you ask me about tools, I can mention you about 20 or more, but the most important one is our community on Discord. We use Discord, but you can use also Slack. It's completely the same, almost no difference. There is only one that, as far as I remember, Slack had a limit of 10,000 messages in a free version. Discord doesn't have this limitation, so that's why I have chosen Discord, and it's tool number one. We can use it not only as a chat but also as a audio chat. Also, we can share our screens and videos, so people can create groups. Smaller groups, work on projects together using Discord. You can do completely the same with Zoom, for example, but Zoom is generally for online meetings. Discord is more based on a text chat. And in programming, we usually write a code, so it's good to see the code. You can always paste code snippets, and in Discord you can use auto formatters that the code is already formatted in the right way. So it's a really good tool. You don't have to use any external services like Pastebin. But of course, our code is hosted on GitHub, and we use GitHub as the main tool of sharing the code.
Okay, so but is there anything in Discord, particular in this tool, that makes it so powerful in your case? Or is it a perfect tool for you, or you see some, I don't know, you wish it would work in other ways? I don't know. Why Discord?
About Discord, it's a perfect one, really. This one is a perfect one.
Okay.
There was a problem when during the first edition of online course, we tried to have online lessons via Discord, and it's problematic when some people are joining from the browsers, the audio doesn't work or video doesn't work, cameras doesn't work, but as an audio chat, as a community, it's perfect. But I don't recommend it as for video lessons. I used YouTube lives for this, where I was just streaming our lessons, and also I used GoToMeeting. It's okay, but I have experienced one thing that I never wish anyone to experience. GoToMeetings has an option to automatically record your session, but something happened, and for 1 minute the audio went out, and from that moment the audio went in once again, but from that moment there was no audio on recording, and that's something that makes me to change this tool, and
but this
probably
is a
I will be
technical
using Zoom.
Yes, but this is a technical problem. Yeah, it's not a mechanic, because Discord is what I think is it's for me like an instructor is quite strange that there is a chaos, yeah, in Discord, and you have to be there every day, follow everything, and if you drop like 1 week, you actually, you don't know, just so many messages.
Okay, it may be a problem
How
for
you
you,
manage the
and
chaos?
there may be a problem if you don't have a proper separation of topics, but I find
Okay.
Facebook groups to something really unintuitive and chaotic. So I will never use a Facebook groups for this,
Okay, yeah.
because I don't know, maybe, I don't like social media, and I have created my account on Facebook 2 years ago just for advertising my online course and my company. So I am not good in social media, but I found it really troublesome to follow any conversation on Facebook groups, because everything changed the order. Something was newer, something wasn't. In Discord, we have everything sorted by topic, if you have proper channels, and everything is sorted just by order and by history, by the time, by date, so you can always scroll up. But you are right that it may be somehow messy, especially if people are writing in different channels. But how I deal with it, simply I have all their notifications disabled. Only if someone mentions me directly to me, I've got the notification, and I check it usually once or twice a day, usually before I go to sleep, or response to everything, and that's it. And usually it's better to do that, because if you have all the notifications enabled, then you tend to reply all your students or the participants. But if you don't reply them quickly, probably someone else will.
Yes, they will reply each other. Yeah,
exactly. And it's very good, because during my lesson and in our community, simply, the knowledge does not flow only from a teacher to students, but also between students. And this is something really important. Even during online lessons, I tend to ask people, what is your opinion? What is your reflection? Maybe you can tell me something about that. And if they tell everything, then I can just add my thoughts, my insights about it. And it's really nothing shameful. I guess that many teachers don't want to lose their position. I don't know how to call it, that they are the best and they know everything. And they can't stand that other people can also have this knowledge, but it's completely different on my lessons. So I encourage everyone to tell everything they know, and only after that I can simply just add something from my side if there is anything to add.
Okay, there is actually interesting question on the chat. How you prevent judging other people? This behavior when, do you have users that judged others, or do you have to ban them or ask them to stop? I don't know.
Frankly speaking, no. And probably it's because from the beginning I'm telling people, or there is even in a Discord invitation message, what is our code of conduct, how they should behave, what to do, what not to do, and that they should respect each other. But people are here for the common goal. They want to learn C++, right? And everyone sometimes was a beginner, right? So it simply doesn't matter if you are right now somewhere farther, so you are better at this topic, then you can help others. So don't simply tell them that you know nothing. Just describe, just teach those people who don't know it. And there are some trainer tricks to avoid a situation like this. And usually I can sell you one of them. It's even during online classes, during stationary classes. If you have one person, for example, that wants to show you that he is better, or he knows something better than you, or he wants to do anything, breaks your lessons.
It happens to me once. Yes, it happens to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's very good if he just present his opinion or ask a question, is to ask a group about what do you think about this? What is your opinion on that? And usually the group turns against this guy, and he feels that he's overwhelmed then, because all the group is against him, so he usually stops this behavior. But if it doesn't, then simply you need to talk to him that, sorry, but we have a lesson here, and you can ask this question personally to me later, and maybe we'll discuss this, but please don't do this now.
Did you read this trick on this book, How to Talk to Children?
No, I think I have learned this from Train the Trainers course.
Okay.
It was during my work at Nokia. It was a really good course, by the way. Train the Trainers.
Train the Trainers. Okay.
It was internal training, but there are many external. You can find anyone, I guess, in the internet from any groups. It's just a business training of that kind. So how to be a trainer, something like that. And it covered a few things, but I don't know if I should go into details.
Okay, I would love to talk more about the projects, how actually projects work, and this reviews thing and stuff like this. But I want to switch to the students actually. Who is your perfect student? For who are you actually creating the course?
So the perfect student is the person who is already after some course. It may be any course, like any other online course or any university course, or this person have already tried programming from books, just anything. My courses are, we can say they are from beginners, but they are mainly for someone who is more intermediate. I mean, I started with the first edition with something called intermediate, but after some time, I have also recorded additional lessons, just the beginning, just to, everyone to be on the same page. So let's call it additional course to allow people who are less experienced also in my course.
So to make it clear, actually to join your course, you can't be complete beginner. You have to know how to code.
You don't find yourself. If you have never written any line of code, then it's not for you. You need to code. I don't know. You can find on my website what is what are the perfect skills. So it's really good if you know object-oriented programming, you know those concepts, what it is. And if you can write so simple algorithms, I don't know, finding text in subtext in a text, something like a cantic Fibonacci course. And I have seen that you also shared, probably on the LinkedIn, the concept of a messy middle, and I like that one.
So, guys, I would like to elaborate a bit about this picture. I know that this is a podcast; lots of people will actually listen to it rather than watching. But this is graphics that is worth. It's worth for you to come to the blog and see it. Yes, I'm in love with this graphic actually. So. Could you please tell me where is your student actually? On which step?
Let me take a look. There's those 4 phases. Maybe, I don't know if I should describe first those phases. And it's always better to provide an example. If you are teaching anything, it's better to start with an example rather than with a theory. So I guess that we have many drivers here. So unconscious incompetence is if you don't know that you don't know something. For example, you live, I don't know, in a very poor country and you don't even know that there is something like a car. So you don't even know that you can't drive a car, right? The next step is that you have seen a car and you have seen that someone is driving it. So now you are in the level 2. It's conscious incompetence. So you know that you can't drive a car, right? But then you simply try to ride it. So normally you just sign up for driving courses, and now you are learning how to drive, and your first hours behind the steering wheel is that you need to take care about everything. Where there are blinkers, there you need to shift gears, there is a clutch, there is a gas pedal, there is everything. So you are very conscious about everything and you need to take care to everything. But after some time, when you already have a driving license and you have many kilometers already, you have took many kilometers, then you can see that you can drive on something called autopilot. So you simply drive, for example, from your work to home, and you didn't even remember the road. You didn't remember what happened. You were at a job and now you are in home. And this is level 4, unconscious competence. So your brain has automated everything, and
it's
you don't
intuition,
need,
yeah. It's like
exactly. You don't need to
intuition.
think about how
Yeah.
you normally do it. So the perfect step is step number 2. So for my courses, people know that they should know C++. They may be even aware how big is it and how many of things are there. And they simply want to learn. But there is also one trap. It's called Dunning-Kruger effect. I guess that's the pronunciation. So if people dive into a new topic, they sometimes very quickly realize that they already know it. It's so simple, I know it. And usually they don't realize that there is even something more. But simply, if someone can prove them that it's not so easy, then they start losing self-esteem, and only after that part they know, they are aware of their incompetence. And
okay, it's
exactly. I can see that you are Googling for it.
Yes, I will Google for it because it sounds a bit mysterious, I may say. So we will see the curve.
Oh, exactly.
Yes.
So on one axis you have knowledge, on the vertical one, and on the horizontal is your confidence, how you are confident with this topic. So you can see here peak of Mount Stupid. So you can see that you know very little, but your self-esteem, your confidence is very high. And this is usually how the normal learning process looks like. So you have just learned about something and you think that you understand it in a very quite good. But after some time, or maybe some people ask you proper questions, then you can see that it's not as easy as you have already thought. And many people are in the valley of despair for quite a long time. And this is very interesting because many people
and they die there.
On my courses, they think that they, after a very few first lesson, they just come from peak of Mount Stupid to valley of despair. And even when our course is finishing, when we are all the course has just finished, they still think that they are in a valley of despair, but I need to motivate them here. And the best way is to send them to the interview simply, or do some programming exercises, ask anyone about their knowledge, and they will see that it's not so bad because their self-esteem is still very low, but they need to be more confident simply by writing the code, by doing that stuff,
Yeah, and I want to do a private comment here, because this is another thing that I feel makes cohort-based courses so different from self-paced courses. Self-paced courses are usually advertised as from zero to hero, or become from zero to programmer into 3 months and something like this. And what I feel is that they probably promised people, they end people with this peak of Mount Stupid moment, and actually maybe they feel they know, but not really, and then they fall into valley of despair and nothing happens. There is no actually growth in their lives because they were maybe tricked by marketing campaign or stuff like this. And what I think is so powerful with the cohort-based approach is that usually we have people, our students are people after the peak of Mount of Stupid. They usually did some kind of a training in the past, or maybe some kind of a courses, I don't know, and they have like respect for the craft, for the topic. They know that it will take time. It won't happen overnight. They will have to do projects to actually accomplish something and earn certificate. And maybe this is something for me. This is something super exciting. That we have students further on this curve. Maybe.
Yeah.
What's your comment on that?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
And I will show you one graphic, but it requires a minute or two to understand. Okay. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, because if we are instructors, we want to gather our cohort, 100 perfect students, and we need to talk to them in a way that they feel it's not like marketing bullshit. Yes, it's like that we understand them, and
yeah, I agree. And there are a few books or courses, C++ in 20 days, or like in this image, from zero to hero. There is even book C++ in 24 hours, but you can't learn programming and nothing valuable in such a short time. Everything requires time, and there is no shortcut. You can, of course, pay more for a better course, for better support to make this process a little bit faster, to work together with a trainer. But simply you need to pay with your time, and you cannot skip it. And nowadays, many people just try to find faster ways to do something. Of course, we can optimize many things, but it's impossible to optimize it in infinity and just going in this direction. Simply it requires time, and my course lasts 4 months, but it's not everything. Simply after our course, students can still do their projects. They can even ship the projects if they have not started it during the normal flow of the course. There is always time for this. I never claim that I can review their code after the course, but usually I can find some time also to take a look. But other students are very helpful, and simply there is a pure code review, so they can still learn from this group, from this community once again, and it gives them power, motivation, and everything, as I told.
I wonder, did you have potential students that actually you don't want them in the course? So you have some kind of application process. I don't know how you select the students.
It's a difficult question. There is always someone who may not be a good patch into your group and can break the atmosphere. Right now, we don't have any application process. I tend to use I used to use some knowledge test before, but right now we don't have it. Simply, there is a money back guarantee. So from a student's perspective, if something is not okay from their perspective, anything, in 30 days from the beginning of the course, they can simply return this course, even if it was bought by the company, anyone, and I will return all the money. So from students' perspective, they can do whatever they can resign. They can also resign later, but then I charge them accordingly to the content that in the moment in which they resigned. But from my perspective, if there is someone who is more who has a destructive influence on others, I didn't have such a strong person so far, but I just talk one-to-one with this guy, and usually I start with the let's say superstition, or I just never assume that this person is doing something on purpose. So first you need to make this person aware that her behavior is disorganizing work, is making the group feel worse. So first just stop it, try to stop it, or if you need help, just ask me and we can think together about it. And usually it's really enough in almost every case. Usually people are not aware that they have such a personality and they do a thing like this. So
so it's very interesting that you don't have actually applications. I thought that you do have, and you don't.
No, I don't.
Did you have in the course students that were complete beginners and didn't know how to program at all, didn't know anything about C++?
Yes, but
how many?
It's not very easy to see the numbers on online course, because you cannot see anyone's screen. During online courses, of course, I can ask someone to share her screen to see what is the progress, what is his solution. But in the beginning, I tend not to ask anyone, only people who wants, not to scare just the people who are shy. I want to build the trust. So people need to feel safe on my lessons, on my courses. And if it is a stationary course, then I can simply walk behind people's backs and just check what they are typing, what they are doing. And I can see it if they have any knowledge on that or not. And usually after a first lesson, I can tell you who will resign from my course. I know it just after three lessons, if this is a stationary course.
No stationary, but on online you don't know.
In online, I can see that this person will not be engaged. So maybe will not resign, but will not be engaged. And
how do you engage these people? Do you fight for them?
No, I talk to them one-on-one and tell them that I can see that your level is not enough. Please ask other guys. I will put you in a group with some other guys, but not only with some super good guys, but it's very good to find people who are also good at teaching, and they share their knowledge. They are usually the most active person on my Discord group. And it doesn't mean that they are the best one in programming, but it's the best to put this person with these active people, and they can simply help them. It's not that good from a teacher perspective to help the person who has the less experience, because people who are better in something, they will be bored in your lessons. And also it's not good to be aligned to the best person, because people who are weaker, they will not follow you and they will also have nothing. So it's also it's usually very hard if your group is divergent, so you have people who are strong and who are weak. If everything is very, let's say, uniform.
So again, you are using a community. So again,
Yes.
so community is a tool for
you need to engage people.
Rescuing lagging students. You don't do it on your own, but you are putting them in the proper community.
Exactly, and this community helps to adjust the levels. So it's really
super powerful.
Many people don't probably think about this.
Yeah, I have to think about it more. Yeah, in my courses.
So, what is your experience with communities? Because you also make very many courses. You are the producer of courses, right?
Yeah, so, of course. Usually, I produce mostly self-paced courses. So our clients wants to record video lessons, and then they put it in some kind of online course product, and people can buy it and watch the videos, and maybe ask some questions on the forum, download PDF material, stuff like this. Yeah, but it's like self-paced and rather passive experience, both for instructor and for participants. It's like, I would say 98% of case studies, because our clients, and I think that most of the market is afraid that by organizing a cohort-based school, they will have lots of to do. They would be a full-time job for them. And
it's true.
And mostly our clients are consultants, are programmers, are graphic designers, stuff like this, managers. They don't have a comfort to focus only on their online course. They're doing sometimes it's even not the second priority in their lives. It's like the third one or fourth one priority. They have a job, they have a family, and then they have a course. Yeah. So mostly they are self-paced, but actually I have experience of designing a few courses that had cohort-based approach. Even we didn't name it like cohort-based, yes, because it's a new term, but we did it, and it almost put me into tears. When I seen people. For example, what I like I have a course where people has to publish their projects. Yeah, so they had to participate in weekly classes, like Zoom classes, but they also had to create projects, in their companies, in their work, like projects that were actually designed to improve their companies, the different processes. It was a business course, and people was putting effort to do the projects, and it was for me it was amazing, because it's like the result. Yeah, it was really like I don't care about views. I don't care about completion rate of the videos on the platform. I don't care. I didn't check it.
You care only about the income.
I care only about the number and the quality of the projects they actually are putting, and this was awesome. But what I didn't see yet in the course, frankly, it's the great community, because 100% of course creators promise that there is a kind of great community in the course. And usually it's like this, at the beginning, there's lots of high engagement, and then it drops. Even in my course, my own course, when I have 100 students, there are some questions from time to time, but it's not designed in a way that, I put some less engaged students in there. It's not so powerful like in you. It's like only like a place when you can ask question and get answer. And so I have experience with projects, not with community. I have experience with Zoom live classes, like people show up, and it was really good, fun way to to see how instructor is doing lecture live to people and asking questions. You know, it was very nice. Yeah, but I think that there is so much more to do. That we are just in the beginning of possibilities of this format. Yes.
Yeah, and that's true. It requires a lot of time because first edition of online course, it was designed to last 4 months, but it took me 5. I needed a break in between because I didn't know that it will be such a lot of job simply with checking all the projects and homeworks.
Okay, so
But
could you please,
right now,
Łukasz, yes, could you please, sorry that I will break there, but this is an important question. How long does it take you to actually create and conduct the course? Could you please share the process? Please be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
This C++ online course, it's right now we'll be starting the 6th edition just overall about this exactly C++ online course, but it's the 2nd edition which is online. So the 4th were already as a stationary course and one was in online form, and now it will be the 2nd one in an online form. So I have already had all the materials, but from each edition they are being updated and some typos, any inconsistencies are fixed. But here, once again, community is such helpful because I allowed them to view my materials. All the presentation are in a raw form text in Markdown, MD. It's a very simple format, and they can submit issues to it, and even they can fix all the bugs on their own. They just do it using GitHub, just normally as we do while collaborating on code. So they can find bugs, find mistakes in my materials, and help me with just improving it.
So
and
you
it's
give
also
your
for
students
additional
right.
points.
So you give your students right to edit your content.
Yes. If you know the, let's say, architecture of GitHub, it's not the fact that I allow them to write and do anything, but they simply can make their own copy of all my materials. It's so-called fork, and they then make changes into it, and they raise a pull request. So I can just review if it's okay, if it's fine, and simply merge it if everything looks
to
good.
master. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So,
but please be
specific.
Please be specific about time. How many hours it takes to create a course? Let's assume that you are an instructor, for example. I don't know. You teach digital marketing or something, and you want to create cohort-based school this year. How many hours? How much time?
Half of the year full time.
Okay.
Something like that.
I didn't expect that. Okay, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it requires a lot of things, but one thing I have not mentioned so far, you told that there was a problem with cohort-based approach because there were many submissions of projects, homeworks
yes,
for your clients, right?
This is a blocker also for people. It's also a blocker for investors. It's like
I have a solution for that.
Okay, so what is how you could respond to investor of a cohort-based school who is telling that Łukasz, it's not gonna happen. You will take too much work to review the projects, and it's ridiculous.
Have a continuous integration, and programmers know what is it, but continuous integration, it's a kind of automation that automatically checks the homework, especially the code. It's very easy to check the code because you can check if it compiles, but you can also have additional checkers if the style is okay, or even you can write code anything that you really wish. For example, if such a word is used in this document. So if there is a simply text-based homework, you can have just an script or any program that it's checking if some specific words are in this homework, anything you really wish.
But how
so
about
you need
other courses, Łukasz? Let's say that not only programming. We have like...
I'm talking about any courses, but you need to have an idea how to verify or how to check if the homework is okay or not. So for example, you can look for specific keywords, specific phrases. You simply need to know how to check it. You may ask people to submit it in a specific format, or I don't know, it should be one line per each something that it's required them, that they require. I don't know. They can use markdown format, for example, with some ticks. If something is marked or not marked, what do they think it's okay or not? So they can use GitHub and this automation, so continuous integration, for anything that has a text form, anything. But of course, they need to think how to check if it's okay or not. Of course, continuous integration can be the only one of the steps. So it can be just the first step in verification, but only, let's say, after the continuous integration is okay, if it tells that it's okay, so you have a green light, only after that the trainer is notified to check this homework.
Okay, okay, I understand. So it's like a filter, like a big filter.
So first, student needs to make sure that it's all the conditions are satisfied, that continuous integration has passed, and only after that their homework will be checked. So it's a first step, and simply, of course, students can submit their homeworks multiple times. So they can try the first time, the response from continuous integration is red, which means it's not passing all the tests. So they can try once again.
Well, I think that there's so much potential to actually create some kind of a platform, like educational platform, that have this assessment, assignment module advanced enough to actually do this kind of semi-auto review. All the platforms I know, like Thinkific, Teachable, Kajabi, they don't have it at all, or it's so basic that no.
Yeah, and I'm missing this functionality, but I have my platform where I somehow integrated this code reviews in this way, the continuous integration, into my homeworks. So my platform, in the first edition, I used WordPress, in fact, with tutor LMS and Gamification plugin. Yeah, that's Gamipress plugin.
Gamipress, yeah.
And I used there was a programming required to understand and to connect things together, because I used webhooks and JSON as an glue. And those services can talk to each other, and when someone submits something to GitHub, then the platform gets a response that there was a new submission, and new submission, you've got 2 new points, and if all the tests passed, then you automatically are granted with the points for this homework. But after that, the trainer can take a look and comment from his own perspective if it could be done in a better way, maybe more optimal way, or the style is not okay, if you can do something better. So continuous integration checks if the algorithm is okay, if the output is proper, but also the trainer can answer you, can give you a hint if it can be done in a better way with a good practices, something like that. Yeah, but we are missing
I think that
such a functionality.
Yes, we are missing, and we are at the beginning of change. Sorry for pathetic talk, but as a programmer myself, also I would love to leave everything and to create something like this, the solution.
I really wanted to do something like that.
Yeah. But I hope that there are many people in the world that are working on something like this, because it would actually. Do you know about Philip Bloom? He was like a teacher and a thinker in the 60s of past century. And he proposed something like a grand dilemma of education. The grand dilemma of education is that the most effective approach to education is actually one-on-one. If you want to teach somebody very fast something, you need to spend time with him one-on-one. And the problem is of how many students you can have, like 5, 10, maybe. But the main challenge is how to actually achieve such a high rate of probability of success for the student, but in the situation when one teacher has like 100 or 1,000 students. And this was like dilemma like 70 years ago. Yes, they were not computers even, no internet, no computers. And I think that probably in this decade we will be able to solve this problem in some ways using continuous maybe integration, maybe some kind of AI stuff. I don't know. Great communities.
I think it will go in the AI direction.
Yeah. So I have goosebumps. I think that it will provide tremendous value for students as well as instructors, because they focus only on the red spots. Yes. So there's the system is showing like I don't know, please help him one-on-one, but you will have like 10% of cases. No.
Yeah. I can mention one thing. Do you know Mirek Burnejko?
Yeah, of course.
So he is developing something that he called DAREK, which stands for probably Dedykowany Asystent Rozwoju I Edukacji Komplementarnej. So dedicated assistant of development and personal education. So right now it was a fully manual, so people were trying to do everything behind the scenes, but in fact it will be autonomous in the future, and it's a kind of, I don't know, online platform where this assistant helps you to teach, to learn the content in your preferred way. So he will simply categorize or somehow find out your preferred way to learn. And for example, if you like listening to podcasts, you will have this knowledge passed as an audio. If you prefer reading, it will be passed as a text, but it can use any mixed forms. And I don't know what exactly can this AI deduct. So probably it will categorize people in a few or plenty of groups and serve the portions in a preferred style, way, and chunks even. So someone can learn, for example, for 5 minutes, but let's say each hour. Someone prefers to learn for, I don't know, 3 hours or more. So it can be automated, and I hope that Mirek can successful with this one.
But Łukasz, what actually the science is telling us about the learning styles? Are there learning styles, such things as learning style?
There was a very known myth that there were a few learning styles, like some people prefer to learn by vision, by simply taking a look into something, by hear, or by touching, like synesthesia, something like that. But I don't know, but it was probably a myth. So it's not exactly in this, like this. Nothing is white and black, everything is gray, let's say. So it's more mixed and much more complicated than they thought. And
do you see that your students are more, are there any learning styles in your particular students, maybe? Or maybe this is a question.
No, I don't see anything.
Do you see any patterns?
like that. But in online courses, it's not easy to observe it. Probably you will need some analytics in your platform to check how people spend their time, in which way do they prefer learning. Of course, I can see that some people are more let's call them extroverts. So they like to talk to other people and they are more engaged on our community. Some people are shy and they don't prefer to write anything. They simply observe things, but they can be also very good, but you usually don't know about it until there is some knowledge test or something like that. But I have had many students who are really shy and there was no response from them during my classes, but at the end they found out to be a really good people, but they simply don't like to talk to other people or something like that. There is also a gamification that I use heavily in my course, or
what is your view on
it
gamification?
Better.
Yeah, so what is your view on
it's
gamification?
It's a really good tool. It can increase motivation very quickly, and it's very good at it. So I recommend gamification for anyone. And I'm in fact looking for a platform with gamification and this CI integrated.
What exactly? Because frankly, for me, it's like a bullshit word, gamification, a bit.
For me, it's not. So
okay,
I can tell you how is it in my courses. So I started with gamification on online version of courses. And what do we have? In fact, we have points, as I already told you. We have no grades, but there are points, and participants can earn points in many different ways. The most obvious one is just by delivering homeworks and projects. So there are also other ways of achieving points, like making code reviews, fixing my materials, delivering their own lessons, giving extra materials on the community. But I still try to introduce more ways to gain points. For example, that one user can admit points for someone else, or someone can, I don't know, probably I will not go into revoking points, but someone else can nominate someone for some additional points for help, for example. So points, it's one thing, and no negative points has a really good psychological effect. There is something called Super Mario effect.
Interesting.
I don't know if I want to share the screen now. There was only one interesting chart that if there are no negative points, people are more safer, and they tend to have more tries in delivering something, in beating anything. So for example,
I'm thinking about
homework.
school. I'm thinking about school because it's school. You can get green and you can have red. Yeah, so it's like the school is the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a known psychological effect that if you are harmed by I don't know, anything negative, then you will give up more easily. So you can try a few times, but no, it's not worth doing it. But if there is no negative points, then people will try more times, and they are, of course, more likely to succeed. So the more tries, it means that the higher chances of passing, and it's much better.
What kind of a tool you are using, Łukasz? What kind of a tool you are using for this gamification? Because I also do not know about any platforms that supports it.
I have a WordPress with Gamipress plugin.
WordPress. Okay.
Yeah, WordPress
Does it work?
Perfect. Yeah, somehow it works. It's not super fast, but it does its job. Let's say it's enough for not very big groups of students. So up to 100% students may be okay. At least it was for my first edition of the course. I will see how does it work in this way. Probably I will try from scratch, so set up everything on a new instance of WordPress, or at least clean all the logs, because it tends to slow down over time. This plugin is not perfect. Everything is kept in a database, so it's growing. The size of the database is growing, and Yeah, not perfect. But what else?
So
we have some levels, achievements, rewards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have second idea for the super platform, as continuous integration and gamification should be a part.
Exactly. Mhm.
And surprisingly, it's not included in today's platform, like
In any
Teachable.
of
No.
platforms. Yeah.
And they don't even have it on the roadmap. So
Yeah, exactly. No one think about this.
no one. Yes.
It will be much easier to add it
Guys,
to the existing
if there are
platform rather than
programmers,
start from scratch.
if some programmers are hearing this podcast, you should immediately start the startup.
Yeah, maybe we could invest some money.
Yes, you can invest. Yeah. Okay, it's very interesting. So what else?
Yeah,
What except points? What exactly? What else are you
Okay,
using?
so there are also some achievements.
Okay.
So and some of them are hidden, so
Like
people
badges
can
or
just yeah, like let's say badges exactly. So
Okay.
for example, I don't know, just to deliver some additional, not necessary part of I don't know, if your code have some additional feature like doing thing like this, or I don't know, if you can deliver many homeworks in a row that pass for the first time, something like that. Not of them are set up. Some of them didn't work in the first edition, and because of this Gamipress plugin, it has some limitations. I tried to implement more of events like this, but technology right now and
It's
my
not yet,
time,
yeah.
I don't have enough time, or technology is not good for it so far. And of course, we have rewards, which is, I guess, for maybe not the most
What kind of
important.
rewards? What kind of rewards?
Especially books, programming books.
So physical ones, not badges.
Yeah, physical ones. And in the first edition, there were a few books to choose, and people could simply spend their points into those books. But right now, I think about automating it just to provide a coupon for some online stores to buy the books they want. It will be much easier, and it will be less work required from my side. Also, they can spend it on a few additional things. One of them, for example, I don't know if I should tell you about all of them because some of them were hidden. So maybe not all of them.
Yeah.
So only people who have reached a certain level could see what is the price, what is the reward.
Do people fight for it, or what is actually how many people
it depends
engage?
For which reward. I had a few rewards, for example, for the first person who reaches that number of points. So there is only one, for example, or it's limited. We have only five items of this kind, and any person who can spend points on this. So people have different preferences. So some of them may want to buy it with points. Some people may not, but it's not usually a big fight for them. So some of them are without any limitations. So, yeah, people, but they are mostly in an electronic form. It's the easiest, to manage everything.
Something else. So we have points, rewards. Some of them are hidden.
What else?
What else? Like.
No, from my side, no. Maybe I can mention that it's really easier to not compete for the points, so not to try to be the best one, but to cooperate, because in group project you have such a synergy and you can have so many extra points for delivering it together. People, groups themselves, and they want to make these group projects because they earn all the points for all the group, not only for their small part. So they can earn really huge amount of points.
Okay. So again, they benefit from community. Yeah, so community is a baseline. Because for me, gamification was only about you. Yes, you are fighting for leaderboard position, for the reward. And okay, you can, but it's better and faster to join in some group and do it together. So you will have, but how it actually works? You have like bonus points for group projects, or I don't know. What is the mechanics of it? Of this group?
The easiest mechanic is to make after I make a code review, me or any reviewer, let's say me. After a code review, I simply grant points for this project, and I can tell that, for example, 5 out of 8 requirements were satisfied. So you have, I don't know, 50 points for this, and every person from the group can have this point, will have this point. What I think about right now is to get some additional points that can be distributed by people inside the group, because it's not always that someone is in their group, but this person might have not even delivered anything. But usually what happens is that those people don't wish to work with that person in the next project, so they simply kick her out or simply change the group. So people are not in the group forever. They can switch the groups. They can even be in a few groups.
How they organize themselves? They are joining on Discord, or you are manually?
Everything is on Discord.
So they are self-organizing
each other.
Okay, so are like self-organizing organisms, something like this.
Exactly.
You don't have to manage this group.
Yeah, I tried to manage it with the first project, because it's usually difficult for people to understand how exactly should it look like, how should they cooperate together. But I am not sure if I should do this right now in this edition. Probably I'll ask participants of the previous edition to introduce new people into that and do the project once again. Right now, with your experience with a new people from this edition, it will be just your leader, or call him however you want. But he may have some good points and insight because she was doing this project, or maybe for sure there will be some other projects, but other people can help with this one. And of course, I teach people about good practices in cooperation, in project work, like Scrum, Agile, project organization, project management. I know that it's not strictly programming knowledge,
so you have like
it's very useful.
So you have communication and management lessons in your course, C++ course?
Yeah, let's say maybe more
Are there
agile
mandatory
Scrum lessons.
Are they mandatory?
Neither. I mean, you can skip every lesson. None of the lesson is mandatory. I mean, you just need to gather a specific number of points, and that's it. You can do it on however you want. Some people prefer simply to finish lesson, make tests, finish tests, pass tests, deliver projects.
Okay, so then they receive certificate for points for reaching the point threshold rather than checking the lessons.
Yes.
So, so this is completely different from self-paced courses where you like check completed lesson, completed progress, percent. Yeah. This is different.
There may be some people who already know that topic, so they skip the whole module or only approach a test and check if they pass the test. Okay, I know this, so let's skip this one, or I don't have time this week. Maybe I will simply skip this lesson, whatever.
Okay. I want to jump right now to the lesson delivery, actually, to the content. Are there any video lessons pre-recorded or live Zoom sessions? How you actually deliver classes there?
So in first edition of this online course, every lesson was as a YouTube live. So there were lessons from 6 p.m. to, they lasted 3 hours, so to 9 p.m. and it was
YouTube
twice a week.
Yep. YouTube Live, like this one, but
yeah, like this one, and people were asking questions on the chat.
Yeah.
So, yep, but it was not public. It was, of course, a private YouTube Live, and it was the easiest way to deliver it from my side, where I could simply stream everything
passive.
in a good quality.
Yes, but it's very passive.
You are talking and they are
listening.
Comments, if you read comments, then it's not as passive, but yes, majority of lessons were delivered in this way, but also we have had something like Q&A lessons, and there are once every, I don't know, 5 up to 10 normal lessons, and it was like a normal conversation using either Discord or GoToMeeting. And it was more like chat, but you know, people are different, and some of them, anyway, if you allow them to speak, they prefer to type, and you need to anyway read the questions from the chat. Some people don't have everything set up properly, so they don't have proper microphones. It's some of them would like to ask the questions, but you know, technical issues. And I found YouTube Live to be the best thing without any problems, and that's why majority of lessons were delivered in this way.
It's super powerful insight. It's super powerful insight. You know, I remember when I started with cohort-based courses, I used to think that Zoom class there will be so much interactions on Zoom. People will turn on the cameras, asking questions and stuff like this. And what was surprising for me, maybe in a negative way, is that classes starts on Zoom. There are 25 people in the group, and maybe two persons turn on the webcams and actually asked something, and other people just listened and even didn't turn on the webcam. So why Zoom in this case?
Exactly. And I also provide some company trainings, and we use GoToMeeting as well, or it can be anything, Zoom. And it really depends on the kind of company values, or just on the people, how exactly does it look like. People in Poland don't like to show themselves. For example, people with more from American culture or from England, they prefer to start the meetings with their cameras turned on, but usually it turns out that internet connection is not okay for anyone, so they turn it off during online session. And usually we only have the audio of participants, and I am on a vision.
Did you try Zoom classes with breakout rooms feature, that you split people into groups, ask them to do something, and then they present the results? Or
not so far, but I try. I have it in plans in this edition, so I will switch into Zoom and have this plan for using these breakouts to split them in the classes.
Yes, I also want to do it. Yes, I also want to do it. Whew, it's very. So it's time for a short break, I think. Lots of insights, and we have like 30 people.
Maybe
listening.
Are there any questions to ask?
I think that we can do quick Q&A, and then we come back maybe to some more personal questions. Shimon is asking, let's see, I will read it. I see one challenge. Sometimes people might not want to share their homework or own case studies due to competitors that may also attend the course.
It's not a problem in our course. And of course, the number of solutions, well, maybe it's not infinite, but usually there are 2, 3, maybe more specific solutions, and all of them are some variations. So one people will have different naming, different styling, whatever. But it's very good because every homework is public, and whoever submits anything, all other people see it. I know that people can simply copy and paste it, but after some time, we will see the difference. And usually homework doesn't have some such big weight in a final points number. So first homeworks are important. They are just for people to learn how to deliver the code. So everyone should do this, even with this copied and pasted code. It's okay, but after some time, they can gain much more points from projects. And if there are more people engaged into something, it's almost impossible to have exactly the same solutions. And they will publish it just after they have finished it. And people don't do things like this because
I didn't get it.
There is also one
Sorry.
additional.
Yeah, please.
Okay, there's also one additional aspect. There are bonus points for being on time, for delivering on time. So usually, let's say about 70-80% of people deliver everything on the latest possible deadline, right? So
sorry, how many percent?
70 up to 80.
Okay.
There are only a few, let's say 5 up to 10% who delivers it immediately when they have time, and majority delivers it on when there is any deadline. So there is one deadline bonus points for being on time, and 80% of people delivers code exactly in this day. So they usually don't have time to see what was the solution of others people. They need to simply find out their own solution and deliver it.
But did you have a problem that somebody copies a code of someone else and use it as to pass the project or something?
I don't
copy
think so,
paste.
no. They cannot pass the project in this way. I can see this, and every project is different, and even people can work on different projects. So one group we have something like that the group, let's say, call it group A, choose this project, group B choose different project. So they simply cannot do this because it's
how many projects they work during the course? They work on during the course. How many projects? Is there
in the
one
first
or
edition
multiple?
we have had 3 projects, but in fact the number is infinite, and everyone can come up with her own project,
but
and
they need
can
to
gather other
pass 3, Łukasz, but they need to pass 3 projects or 1?
No, you don't even need to pass anything. You need to gather a specific number of points. So it may be really difficult to do this without projects, because projects cost really, they are for a really high amount of points, but I guess that it's possible. Yeah.
Somebody asked on the chat, is the course taught in English? It's not, it's in Polish. Yeah.
No, it's in Polish.
This podcast is in English, but the course is in Polish.
Right, but I plan to translate everything and go out to international market in the next year. We'll see if it's gonna work.
Yes, I'm super curious actually about it. I'm the why behind our English approach to this podcast is that we want to somehow meet other courses creators from maybe different countries and learn also from them. So yeah, hope to be inspired.
I have just put cohort-based courses into YouTube, and it could find only 5 videos, and our was on the third on that list. So it's really not popular topic on YouTube.
Give it a few months. Give it a few months. You will be surprised. Yeah,
I think it will go into this direction.
Yeah.
I don't know if we will have the break now, or can I ask you about your perspective on the education?
So I think it's time for water. So
Okay.
yeah, so heavy questions are coming, I see.
Or maybe just ask also for a questions or a chat, okay? If you want to ask me anything about C++ online course, just feel free. If you want to ask Bartek anything about his courses,
Yes.
also ask.
But actually, as I said, I have pretty big experience in self-based courses, but this cohort-based is I'm starting. And yeah, I want to be honest, dedicate my life to it.
Yeah, go on.
yeah. So I want to dedicate. If I would, invest all my time and all my money into one thing in this world, make a professional thing, it will be like cohort-based courses. Yes, I don't see anything more exciting than this format. We'll see. Maybe I'm too optimistic or naive, but
it's really interesting, and you have attracted me with your concept of your Brave school, because you have sent it in a newsletter,
yeah.
And as you already mentioned in the intro today, I replied to you, what is it I'm doing exactly? I'm teaching in this way. Can you describe exactly what is a Brave school? What is this concept?
Brave School is a concept to create online school for creative professionals, where we will be teaching people using cohort-based courses approach. Yeah, so there will be courses where you have to apply. There will be courses where you have to be advanced beginner, not complete beginner, but intermediate guy or gal. Yes, you have to prove that you actually did something in the past and you are ready to jump to really professional track, to benefit from creating projects with the community and stuff like this. And this Brave concept is for me it's on different levels. Yes, and philosophically, like building a school is like one of the highest things you can do in your life. Yes, because think about it. If companies usually last for, I don't know, maybe a 1,000 years, 10 years, 20 years, and they are acquired or they are sold or they are go bankrupt or something like this, transform. But schools are usually like for 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. So this is a project that this is for your life, and it will probably would be, much farther from that. So I'm excited by the idea of super long-term project and school is something like this. And of course, I don't think that the future of education is like building-based education. I don't think it's like it has a future. Of course, it probably will last for a few decades, but it will drop the importance, I think, in the world. And the online schools.
If I understand correctly, you want to build a community of teachers who are doing really good job. So can I be a teacher in your school?
Yeah. So the concept is that it's like the next layer. Yeah. So I can do like one course and be very good in it. Create like a small business. Like for example, I teach video production. Yeah. So I can be super, happy and rich and stuff like this, teaching people video production. But what is exciting for me is to actually be in community of other teachers and to build a network, like a school as a network of teachers that share the same values, maybe the same brand, Stanford, Harvard, Brave. It's like a brand. Yes, it's like a it means something. It's philosophically means something for people. It's like it's about values. It's about quality. It's about traditions, stuff like this. But teachers has independence, and they have they still feels like the courses are their own courses. Yes, they don't have any kind of don't have a boss. Yes, so
Okay, so two questions comes into my mind. So first one is, will you check the knowledge of the teacher in terms of pedagogy, andragogy, psychology, call it whatever you wished? So if she is a good teacher and can really teach, so maybe this question now, I will ask the other one later.
Yeah, so this is actually what we're talking about 1 hour ago. We started about what makes good teacher. Yes, so I'm looking for patterns, and also I don't know if a teacher is it will be good or not, or instructor, but I believe we can make like a checklist of characteristics of this of the perfect teacher, and we can increase probability to actually work with good instructor, not like a bad one. Yeah. So yeah.
I guess I have an idea. You can deliver an online course about teaching, how to teach, or something like Train the Trainers that I have already mentioned.
Yeah.
And first, the teacher needs to pass this course to be a teacher of your school.
Yes, and also gather points, work in a group to show that he is actually empathic person, and he know how to collaborate with people. So it could be absolutely this kind of a bootcamp test for it. You have to pass it if you want to be instructor. Okay, you have to pass it. It's very interesting approach. I need to write this idea, because I love great teachers. Of course, I've met in my life bad and good teachers. I love the good ones. I think we can find them. We can give them. We can build amazing opportunities for them and environments for them to grow as a teachers. The school, because if you are on your own, you have to do lots of things other than teaching. You have to do marketing. You have to do technology, platforms, financing, accountancy, stuff like this. And I know that many great instructors don't want to do it.
So I guess it brings us to my second question. What is your role in this school, and what is the role of the teachers?
My role, short term, is to create my own course, cohort-based course, which will be like a demo of the whole idea. So I will test all the ideas on myself with my cohorts. I teach video production, so I will try to gather cohort of my students, and I will test all the assumptions. But long term, I feel like a founder as a protector of the values of their school. So CEO of the school is like a protector of the values. So we have like a few values, and I need to communicate these values to people and protect that nobody will, try to hijack them. For example, my value number 1 is student success over everything else. I really believe in it. So I believe that every single thing in the school should be designed to help students. So, everything. For example, if we could have an investor who could give us lots of money, but he would say that we need to, lower the quality of the assignments or something, because you need to improve profitability. I as a founder wants to have a voice to say no, we don't know, we it's not possible, so go away. It's something like this, because in the long term, I think it will make a brand, it will make a trust, it will make something truly awesome.
And all the marketing stuff will be on your side, or every teacher would need to sell his courses?
Well, I think that usually good teachers have some kind of a network already, like on Twitter or LinkedIn. So they will probably be involved in some marketing activities. But I think that 95% of revenue actually will be generated by Brave's marketing efforts. So we will organize webinars. We will take care of our emailing lists, stuff like this. So yeah, so it will be a hybrid approach, but mostly Brave. We'll take care of marketing. Yeah.
Okay, so will there be any, I don't know, membership fee, or you'll just get some percent of the income of those teachers? What is your business model?
Yeah. So the school consists of courses, and each course has a price. Yeah. So if we have a course for 100 students, and every student pays, for example, $1,000 to enroll the course. So we have like $100,000 pool. Yeah, so money to share, and of course, a significant percent of the money will go to instructors, like 50% or something like this. To go directly to instructors. And the other money will go to school to actually do marketing, to do administration and stuff like this. But what I really try to do is actually design it so effectively, because in the traditional school, how much percent of the actually revenue goes to instructors? 10%, 20%. I heard that it's something like 10 or 20%. So 80% are eaten by administration, marketing, stuff like this. Yeah.
Can you compare it with Udemy?
Udemy takes like from 50 to 70%. Yes, also money, mostly for marketing. And I really try to come up in the long term with a model that will give at least 50% to instructors. Of course, to be honest, I've seen that if you give more, there's something starting to go wrong with the business. Yeah, so you can't give like 80% to instructors, because you will not be able to provide support for instructors. For example, it's very important that course has coordinators and people who administrate the course, who take care of students, so instructors don't have to, for example, check the attendance list, check the projects, the assistants. Yeah, so this assistant has to be paid by the school. So stuff like this. But also thinking about some kind of a points, to be honest, for instructors. For example, if the course is very good, really good, then instructors can earn additional money from the special fund. Yeah, something like this, or it will. Yeah, this is like the concept. Of course, it will be important to actually provide instructors a value that they will value. So, like giving 50% of the course revenue to the school might be, for some instructors, no go. I know that there are some people who wants to do everything 100% and do everything, and I actually absolutely respect that. And I don't have arguments on that. They should probably do it on their own. For me, to be honest, as an instructor, I would easily give 50% of revenue for my course if the school will build a cohort for me, build the marketing, do the accountants, so I could focus on designing a course and delivering the course. I would do it immediately. but I respect that not all the instructors will value that.
So we share this approach because right now I'm not the only instructor in Coder School. I also cooperate with Mateusz, and we think about something like dividing 50-50. 50-50, I mean the classes that he will be the teacher of the cohort-based courses. He will earn something about half of the price, and I, as a coordinator, or let's say assistant, the person who is sharing his brand, I will take the other part. So I think that's a good idea to do something like that, because there are many programming schools that in fact pay for so-called do po godziny. So I mean, when the instructor is simply they are paying for his time spent on teaching other people, only for the online lessons, and it's really weak, let's say.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it. No, I don't want it.
Yeah, there are some people on my courses who have already participated in courses like that, and there are many teachers. Usually they don't know what other teachers have said to them, and there is a complete chaos, and they really don't like these courses. So feedback from my courses is really, really great. I have never ever had a negative feedback, and I always ask people, what can I improve? If there is something I can do better, just tell me. And there was never anything negative. Of course, I have plenty of improvements that are possible to be made, but I guess it's really super powerful to have such a relation with your participants.
Yes, and it all starts with how you compensate your instructors. They have to be extremely happy about and feel transparent, because either way they will kombinować. to kombinować means try to do it.
These tricky
things to actually found their own schools. Yes. They will do a WordPress platform, like some marketing campaign, and they will gather all the money for them.
Yeah, but in the end, they will find out that it's not so easy as it looked like. Probably, I guess that if with your today's knowledge, if you would be starting from the beginning, you have never knew that there will be so many problems, but somehow all of them, you managed to solve all of them, or plenty of them. Because for me, I have never expected to be such a hard and difficult thing with this. I thought that, funding my own school will be something really easy. I just need to find the first clients, but this is the first biggest problem. Then the rest of the things, platform, accountancy, many things when you are self-employed.
Yeah. So I want to ask you why you're actually doing this. Why you are not high paid software engineer in Nokia or somewhere. Why you're doing a school?
Sometimes I ask myself the same question. I just do something that I really love. I know that it may sound like some empty words, but that's the truth. I really love to learn. I am a programmer, but from the beginning, I somehow felt that teaching is a good direction. And when I just had an opportunity, then I simply turned into this path. I love the relation with people, how to receive the feedback from them, which is not always positive, but let's say in 95%. I don't know. I just like when people tell me that this course is much better than anything other they have ever participated. But I always try to get the feedback from both sides. So what else can be improved, or what was not okay from their perspective. So this relation is one thing, and I guess it's just match my my skills. So empathy, relator. What are the rest is learning, focus, and discipline. Which means that I can easily focus on anything. I just immediately get into the flow state. If there are no interruptions, I just sit and start, and in a few minutes I can code anything, build anything. It's really nice trait that I have.
It's really helpful for content creators, yes, and instructors to get in the flow really fast.
Yeah, you know, I think that I'm really not creative person while I was working on a full-time job. That being creative means doing a brainstorming, and I have never liked this because there was a time pressure. It was just a booked meeting. Let's do some brainstorming. And right now I see that I am a very creative person. And it's something completely different. I just need a time to be alone, and I can come up with tens or hundreds of ideas.
Łukasz, do you think that programming is creative profession?
Of course, it is. I know that there is, let's say, some dichotomy. It has both faces. It's both creative and how is it called? Like a math or physics, it's scientific approach, right? So it has both of these because you need to know all the technical things, all the technical stuff, how the compiler works, and that it is strictly defined and it always work in a proper way. And also be creative and writing a code, which means that you should simply translate all the reality into the code, let's say. So for sure. And what is your opinion?
Oh, I must tell you that I've read lots of articles in internet because in Brave we also want to do computing classes, yes, and programming stuff like this. And by being a school for online school for creative professionals, I was afraid that people will perceive it as like a school for artists, like, you know, like this visual artists, music, stuff like this. But I perceive programming as creative profession too, and I want to some kind of, you know, include it into the package. Yeah.
And you know, even Polish law, in Polish law we have IP box, it's intellectual property. I don't know if this one, but we can have lower taxes because of it's a creative work like other artists, like painters or sculptures.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know. Yeah. So definitely, programming is creative profession. Okay, yeah. I have also, sorry, I have a personal question for you. How long are you actually doing this full time, the school? How long?
Full time. I have started it in the beginning of 2018. But in the first phase, I was hired just as a full-time programmer, and it was my side project. And after some time, I reduced my time, so I had a part-time job. And by the time it was just less and less time on at Nokia. So it was first 3/5, then 2/5. And finally, I quit Nokia in 2019 in November.
So
yeah,
2 years.
So
something
over.
Like this?
No, as a full time, it's only one and a half year.
How many times you wanted to go back, stop doing school and go back?
I don't know. I can't tell you how many. In fact, never. But I know that I would earn more money doing programming. At least I hope it will not be true in this year. But from the previous year, I could just earn enough money, to live a normal life, but it was not such a huge amount of money that programmers can make. And I hope that it will change in this year, but we will see. I need to know how to marketize, how to sell my product better, how to reach to the proper groups. And by the way, right now there is a pre-sale of this C++ online course.
Okay.
I don't know if I can
Maybe
advertise
you can
it here.
share. You can share a screen if you want. Yes. We have like
Okay.
30. Still, we have 30 people on the board, so maybe somebody will join.
Okay.
Yeah. So of course we can advertise it. Yeah. So actually, you said that it's not true that year. So you will probably earn more this year
Yeah,
than from
hopefully, but
your normal gig.
Yeah, but we need to recover from the years. If I would like to compare it, then I would need to recover from the years before. So maybe in 2 or 3 years, it will give me more than a normal programming job. I don't know. I will see. So, okay. We have still you have still 3 days to buy this course if you feel convinced, because I have already talked something about it. So there is a pre-sale, and we start in the last day of March, so the 31st of March. Everything is on the website, but there is generally, this course differs from the normal Udemy courses because only one module from this course is like a B1 course from the Udemy. So one module like this one is the whole course in Udemy. So we have 11 modules like that.
Wow.
And there is
How did you
nothing
prepare?
such
How did you
complex.
prepare for that? Did you I don't know how to prepare so huge course?
It took me some time.
Yeah.
And my job at Nokia helped me with that because I was a trainer also at Nokia, and I have already prepared some materials from programming while I was working there. And after that, I took some of them, I was inspired by them, built everything on my own. I already had some of them simply. So in fact, it took me a few years to have all the materials about this stuff, programming. Most of them are.
Did you make bullets or scripts word by word? What you are saying on the classes?
If it's question how to design a
yes, how to
lesson
design
like
a
this,
lesson.
right?
Yes. To be.
There is another science behind this. The course content is one thing. So I simply always start with some agenda. So I simply put some points, and I think what should be in a lesson about, let's say, tests in C++, what kind of libraries to cover. I can show you something else.
I'm wondering how much time you spend to prepare, for example, 1 hour session or 4 hour session. How many hours you spent to design the class?
I am not sure right now, but I have seen somewhere, probably on Train the Trainer course, to design a 1 hour of training. You should reserve from 20 to 40 hours. And I can say that for sure it was at least 10 hours to design 1 hour of such a training, but it's closer to 20. Wow. Here you can see a big map, memory map, just a mind map of C++ that I have created, but in fact I have created it after this course was made.
Could you please share it? Could you please share it? Because I don't see it right now. I see landing page.
Okay. Sure. should be here. Maybe I will switch. Oh wait, there is something wrong. Zoom is telling me that we are sharing. I'm sharing, so let's do it
try
once again.
Yes, maybe a different monitor was,
What about now? Can you see it?
No.
Oh, it tells me that you are sharing, you are screen sharing. So maybe I will send you a link because you should have an access to read it.
You can send me on the chat, so maybe I will show it.
Sure. And this is just a usual technical problem during any online classes, right? So not everyone can share the screen or something doesn't work. It worked earlier. So here you have a link. Try to display it.
Okay. Oh my God. What is that?
It's a C++ mind map. You see, it's the content of my course, but not only. There is something more. So it's divided by these modules like programmer's tools, memory management, multi-threading, anything. But in fact, I have created it after the course was already prepared. So, but in fact, I had some excerpts like only the small chunks of this map just in my head, and I simply tried to.
But you are able to do. Are you able to do a class using only something like this, or are you preparing some detailed script or additional bullets?
We have presentations, but these are no simply PDFs. I prefer some more animated things, and I use Reveal.js framework, and the presentation are created from the content from GitHub. In fact, I mean from the Markdown files, so I can program the presentation. I don't use PowerPoint.
Yes, I don't. I don't use either. I hate PowerPoint slides.
But it's really not a problem for me to run a lesson just from this map. We can take only one part, and I can simply show you everything, just the documentation, and have any task in mind, and simply run a lesson without any presentation. And I think that's something how you can recognize a good teacher, that he doesn't need any presentation to run the lesson. It's especially useful if there are any technical problems, and in fact, you cannot display this presentation. It sometimes happens. So as a good teacher, you should be able to do this. And improvisation is a good thing. I told you that I think right now that I'm a really creative person and I can easily improvise, but I really thought that it is something that only superheroes can do. Right now I know that if anything goes wrong, I can just simply do some magic, and no one can even notice that something went wrong.
Yes, I can relate to it. I remember when I tried to record my course like from the script, like the teleprompter thing, and I felt that I was drained from energy. It was not me, I'm trying, to be cool and everything, but
I know it.
There is no art in it, there is no human approach. And I needed to also make like a map and a bullets and do it live, with adrenaline rush in my head. And then I felt it, and people also admired it. It was good, And I had actually fun doing it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
maybe some people would love the detailed scripted video more, but I just don't,
So do you prepare with any conspect presentation, whatever, bullet points before your lessons?
Yeah, sure. I actually I like bullet points, but before that, especially when I learn something new, I like to do concept maps also, and maybe I will show something how I do it. But actually, I need bullets. But before that, I have also like map of relations of terms to find out actually if I am if I know everything and if I am understanding the lesson the subject, because really very often I also learning teaching myself during the course. I'm doing research, I'm checking documentation, I'm checking new gear, so I'm learning and I'm trying to fill the holes in my own knowledge and create a map for it, and then I will try to make bullets from it and then think about some content visualization and then present to students. But it's result of multiple hours of research, concept mapping, bulleting, and then presenting stuff. Super lots of work.
For me, it's the same. I usually start with some bullets, and with anything, even when I was writing anything like my master thesis, any book, ebook, whatever, it's the best to start with just bullet points or headers, call it however you wish. And usually it's enough. You don't even need to fill it with any content. If you can run your presentation from headers only, it should be enough. If you feel that you can tell everything, then you can improvise, and that's it. There is one funny activity. One guy told me on a soft skills training. It's so-called PowerPoint karaoke. It's when you, as a teacher, presenter, maybe a better presenter, goes on the scene, and there is a PowerPoint presentation, but it's not yours. And if people will not notice that you don't have no idea what you are talking about, it means that you are a good presenter. So simply you have someone else's presentation and you go through this and you need to talk about it without even knowing what was there.
Yes, so actually I'm reading a book called Naked Presenter right now.
Oh, nice title.
Yes, Naked Presenter. It's a book by Gary Reynolds, which is really well known for a book called Presentation Zen. Okay, but this book is like the second one probably, and it's about presenting without slides. Yes, it's like using everything but not slides, and I really like this approach. So I like drawing, I like showing. If I need to sit down and do PowerPoint, I constantly falling asleep.
You should never start with a PowerPoint. It's the wrong direction.
No.
And I don't know if you know Kamil Kozioł.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you know this guy. You should never start with a PowerPoint, and usually, even if you need to have any PowerPoint, you have at least two versions. One is just for showing during your presentation, and the other is so-called slide documents. It's slides and documents just to send people after the presentation. It should contain more information.
Yes, it's very, very, very good. Yes, I think
you should always start with script.
Yes, slides are very good additional material. Yeah, so to have it after the lesson for people, I guess I'm kind of a reminder. Yeah, but not like the main tool. It don't have to be, at least. Okay, maybe I will find my concept maps. I'm both tired and excited, and then maybe I don't know which folder I need to see. But but in general, it looks very similar to yours. But I don't use actually mind map. I am using diagrams, so like lucid charts. I'm heavily looking for relations between different areas.
Okay.
Like, some kind of interesting connections. There are some kind of there are new questions on the chat, so maybe you can ask them, and then and I will try to find my concept map.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, where did we stop with these questions?
Yeah, I think that's Racine.
Okay, Ryzen. Highly recommended course. The previous edition offered much more than competitors, if any. I'm a graduate. Yeah, I know you. Hello, Ryzen. Not compared with Udemy, as it's live and interactive premium and offers a real life workflow experience preparing for a future job assignment. Thank you for your opinion. Thanks very much.
Okay, so we actually have confirmation.
Recommendation.
Yes, of what we are talking about.
So you can see, I think that a good product or service will not sell itself, but it will defend itself. And now, even if I am putting an advertisement anywhere or anything, a social post, then somehow magically from I don't know where, my graduate students can come out and tell that it's really good. I really don't ask them for it because they simply marketize this product for me. I really love this. Thank you, Ryzen, and thanks anyone who does it.
Yeah. Okay, I can show you my concept maps. I think it's important to show because there are also some kind of courses about courses that teaches you that you can record a course in one day, still. But
really?
For example, this is how I work when I do lessons and modules. So I'm mapping, I'm looking, for example, this is lesson about what lens to choose for a camera. Yeah, what lens? So it's like I have some kind of a favorite, some quick wins, but they relate to other stuff, and I need to translate it into a way that will be actually understandable for people. Yeah, but this kind of concept mapping requires me sometimes like a few days of work and research and stuff like this. Yeah, so.
Okay, but I usually do I don't have maybe such complex things. Even this map that I have shown you, it took me about one whole day.
Yeah.
Maybe about 2
I'm
days.
crazy, I know. This is crazy. I'm not recommending this approach because it may end up with not doing a course at all.
Exactly, and it always finds out that you cannot be 100% compliant with this because there are some slight things. You will record it in another way, or you will connect it. You will tell something differently, and it's not one-to-one. It's quite close.
Okay, and you are doing all the lessons live, yes? You don't have pre-recorded videos. Am I right?
No, right now, yes. I can see your questions. But in this edition, I plan to have pre-recorded. I'm already recording the lessons. So I have 2 versions. There is version, I call it standard and premium. Premium is just the cohort-based, the full class, full experience that I have described today. And standard version is limited, but it's perfectly scalable because it do not require any, maybe not any, but it does not require additional job from trainers. So we don't have trainers code review. There can be, of course, peer code review, but trainers will not check the code from people of standard version, still they have CI, continuous integration. So all these automations will be run on their code. And we also have live sessions only once a week now, and only for premium students, but it will be like an additional lesson and about the topic that was covered by released on the videos in the last week. So the trainer will explain everything, answer the questions, tell more about homework, check the homework even online during this session, tell which one is better, which is worse. And simply give some advice and ask people questions. So it will be more like Q&A session, not a special additional lesson. So it's the main difference. I'm just wondering if there is anything else. Yeah, there is also, we have a limitation about the projects. So group projects will be only in a premium version. So only in this full cohort-based. In a standard version, people will not have an access to these projects. But still, I think that they may join, maybe not. Still, I'm not confident about this one, because people from premium version may invite them somehow on a Discord to this project. And I don't know how to deal with this. It may be okay, because anyway, trainer will need to check the code, and he shouldn't care who created the code, in fact. I'm not sure how it will go. We will see.
Yeah, also in Brave, I'm thinking about like this standard and premium course, because like full cohort is like 50, 100, maybe 200 people. But there are many more that could actually participate in live sessions and stuff like this. And I also want to create like these auditors pass. Like, okay, it's way cheaper, like 5 times cheaper, that full experience, but no projects, just content and maybe community. But do these people that pay you 1,000 accept not 1,000, not 4,000, they also are on the forum and this discourse or not?
Yes, but there will be a closed forum only for people who have this premium version. So there will be also some additional hidden group on Discord that only premium clients will have the access to it.
Okay, and what will be on this premium group? I don't know.
I don't know still. Probably questions about these Q&A sessions, or maybe just how to gather the question for these sessions, something about projects. Yeah, that may be the way how not to allow people who are not in a premium version not to join their Discord channels, and they will not join the projects. Of course, they would be able to see the code of the project, and they can even participate, but without a specific channel on Discord, it may be somehow more difficult for them. I still don't know if I should really limitate this in this way. But it may be only on invitation. So if there is someone who has a standard version and someone from a premium version will invite this person to participate in the project, then maybe it will be okay, and I will allow it.
Okay. Yes, because we should distinguish, yes, this 4,000 from 1,000 course.
So people pay for something extra, so it will not be fair for people who have paid more to allow others to also.
So how actually the standard course differs from the Udemy? This is a question from the chat, actually, very good one.
How does it differ? First of all, it's much bigger. So one module of the course is like whole course on the Udemy.
But I want to like, because I really love Udemy too, I must say. I'm instructor on Udemy. I have 3 courses right now, more than 10,000 students. So I see also value. So, but I will protect right now. So, Udemy, there are also courses that have like 30 hours of content, and for sure there are also C++ courses that have 30 hours of content for $50, $15.
So once again, community. I guess that it's the biggest value. And I don't know, on Udemy, I know that I had some courses on Udemy, but I haven't looked there for 2 or 3 years. Is there a forum, or can you ask any questions about courses on Udemy?
Yes, it's like simple forum Q&A. You can ask question and that's all.
Okay. So, but our community is quite different. So you can ask, just leave on chat and get the answer immediately. So this is, I guess, the biggest difference.
Okay.
Let me take a look. What else? Homeworks with continuous integration. I still don't. It's not possible to have immediate feedback.
Also for standard users?
Yeah. Continuous integration. Yeah, it will be for standard users, but we will not have trainers review. There will be peers review allowed, but not trainers review. So it's the biggest difference. What else? So we have this group feedback, and we have a hackathon. In fact, it will be available for both standard and premium students. It's still the way we should consider, because it's a pandemic. But during the first edition, we had a hackathon, which was a really great event, and people come into Wrocław wherever they live, and during 24 hours they had to code their own computer game, simple game using C++, and the results were really great, and people have created so many interesting games.
So there are comments.
Hours.
There are comments on the chat that the Discord community is extremely supportive. So this is you have like a key point for your landing page and promotional campaign. Extremely supportive Discord community. That's all. And then blah 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 blah, and other things. So
thanks, Rysin.
So you have like everything there. And once again, in self-paced courses, they always advertise that there is some kind of a community. There is a Q&A session, stuff like this. But these communities mostly are dead or almost dead.
It's a normal thing with all the communities that if you are designing trainings, you should be aware of people's energy, and the energy is the highest when they are starting. And we can also consider it in a long term, like during the whole course, or even in a short time, like during one specific lesson. So people start with a high energy level and it drops, but it also depends on which time of the day we have this lesson. So if it's really late, it shouldn't be too long, because people will simply not listen to you. And you should never have such a long theory blocks. You should avoid it as much as possible.
What is the best hour for live lessons?
The best hour is when people are at their jobs. So something between 10 and 12 a.m., let's say.
So they are doing it while they're working, or they're doing break and work? I don't know.
No. I just replied in this way because energy level is the highest usually about 1 to up to 3 hours after people wake up. So when they're after their first coffee, they have the highest energy level, and then it drops, but quite slowly, and then there is a really big hole after lunch. So when they have their lunch, you always need to put something more engaging, like a group discussion, get them a task. There should never be a theory immediately after the lunch, because people tend to fall asleep.
Show
you
pictures of funny cats.
Maybe, but not showing only. Yeah, but any joke would be useful.
Yeah.
You need to know how to catch people's attention. And I can tell you my favorite trick, how to catch it.
Yeah.
Look, do you know what I have here? Can you see it?
No.
It's your attention. Thank you. So
Okay.
you simply go with this around the class, or wait a bit longer, to build attention, and you have people's attention in a very easy way.
But do you have experience with evening classes, like from 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 9?
Yes, and first I have started with about 3.5 hour long classes, from 5 to 8:30. But usually it was too much for people, but it's something that I learned later, and it's better to have lessons not exceeding 2 hours. But again, it's a person-specific thing, and it's not only person-specific, but it also depends on the activity that this person was doing that day. For example, if she had a job and then children at home, so some people at evenings may have really low level of energy, and even they can fall asleep on your lessons. And during online classes, especially via YouTube, you can never control it. Of course, you can ask, hey, what do you think about this? Or who is here after the break? What is very important is to do recaps. So you should ask people after every break, what were we talking about before this break? And you wait for the response. And you can even ask some specific person, for example, Michał, or what were you talking about, or anyone, right? To check if he's here or not, right? If you have small groups, it is of course easier. With bigger groups, it's not so easy.
I personally like to do it that way, that, for example, the first 2 hours are well designed and, straight to the point as possible. But after that, we have like a time, like a more freestyle time, like right now. I actually feel that we talked about everything that we should talk, but we are still here, and we have like 22 people still with us, and we had like 100 people during this live, but and 40 at the beginning, and now we have like 20. We can make after party, and exactly. It's also and it's a time when we can also build some really cool relationships with these people. I think so.
That's exactly
guys,
how
gals, if you have any questions about cohort-based approach to education, about I don't know how many hours Łukasz sleeps and how many dollars he earns, please do it. Yeah. So
ask me anything.
ask me anything. Yeah.
Oh, so you have just touched the topic of personal life. So can I ask you a question about your work-life balance? How do you find the time to all that thing? Do you have any time for your family at all? Or how does it look like?
There is no such a thing as work-life balance, unfortunately, in my case. I do lots of sacrifices in this journey of becoming in this online courses journey. It requires lots of sacrifices for me, because I try to actually be for our clients, because I work full time for my clients as video producer, consultant, and so on. And I need to find also a time to design my courses and to take care of people, to organize things like this like this podcast. I could be with my wife right now, not with you, but to be honest, I was thinking it will be also available for them. So it requires lots of sacrifices. It would be much easier if I would focus only on producing my own courses rather than doing work for clients. But I feel that I would lose if I stop working for clients. I would lose like the practical side of my knowledge, which is, to be honest, impressive in terms of the whole industry. So it's really valuable that I do stuff for clients and then I teach my students really practical approach to different problems. And what I think in the long run, what I actually working on is to limit number of projects for clients, increase prices, doing less for more, to be honest, and focus on teaching, slowly focusing on teaching. So yeah, but to be honest, on the weekend I have really strong conversation with my wife, who is actually pregnant. We expect first baby in 1 month or so.
Nice, congratulations.
Yes, thank you. But what I really also wanted to do is I wanted to create like this cohort-based course right now. I wanted to actually today announce it, and now let's join and it would be awesome and stuff like this. And today, driving to the studio, I decided not to do it. Yeah, because I don't know how I would manage clients, my wife, my baby, and this new course and 50 students that expect me to be for them, to deliver great lessons, to do peer review. So yeah, I needed to sacrifice actually a course today.
It's not good to sacrifice a family. I guess everything can wait and money is not so important. But we businessmen tend to think that if we will not deliver something on time, then something bad will happen with either our reputation, our revenue, whatever. But it's usually not that bad.
Yes, but in the past, I created a pre-sale for a course that I didn't do, and because I didn't have time and there were lots of problems at work, stuff like this, and it was so depressing time for me when people was expecting a course that I didn't deliver. They paid for it and I didn't deliver. I promised that I would deliver, and I postponed a date once and second, and then some of them wanted money back. And it was inside me for months until I actually finally released the course. So so it's hard. Yes, doing ambitious courses is hard. It requires some sacrifices. You sacrificed your career in a corporation, probably. Yeah, you sacrificed. Maybe not.
But I think that I can go back quite easily, hopefully. Still, I receive many offers on LinkedIn to be a programmer, and I guess it will be just very easy step to go back. So for me, it was easy. But for you, it must have been really hard mentally. With
but
this depression.
The depression it's maybe it's not a proper word, depression. I'm really conscious.
You have not delivered.
Yes, I didn't deliver it. I promised I didn't deliver it. I had like 30 people on my shoulders every day. I was thinking about them. It was totally crazy. And probably they didn't know it, yes, so they didn't hesitate to write me mean comments, emails, what they are thinking about me, and stuff like this. Yeah, they didn't know that I tried to do it. Yeah, and
usually the thing you really need then is to simply relax mentally. I don't know, play the game, even if everything
I love to
is
record
waiting.
on. Actually, there is my courses I recorded actually on vacations on August. I like this August month because it's the month that actually not lots of happening in my business. There are no events to live stream, no courses to produce for clients, or not so many. Not consulting because clients are on vacations, corporate clients are on vacations, so they don't want to start new gigs with me. And I have I always can find like 2 weeks or 3 weeks of free calendar, and I can then create something meaningful. Yeah, that. So probably on August I will record my new Udemy courses because I want to create like 3 new courses on Udemy. It's for me it works also well. And I will have the one cohort-based professional level pro level course as well. Yeah.
I don't know if you are aware, but with children, everything is different.
And I know that children, it will change. It will change. I don't know what will change. I'm just thinking that not so much.
Everything will change. You'll see.
I'm expecting that parents will help. Yes.
If everything is good, I mean, children, mother are healthy, then it's okay. But the thing that I have never took into account in any of my estimation projects was what if we will not be healthy? And that's the situation that I have for about half of the year. So still someone is sick, either me, wife, or my child. And with that, you cannot really expect anything. I needed to create something, but I need to postpone in the next week, and all the plans just fall out and everything goes wrong. You can, if right now you don't have time for anything, then after your child will appear, then you will see that you was not right, because just after the birth you will have no time for anything. So it's a change of perspective.
Maybe I will be even more focused on work. So when I have time for work, I work. I don't do social media. I don't do different stuff that don't work. It will be much more productive. We'll see. But again, this is why I want to create school. I want to build a team. If you are asking me what I'm doing right now, I'm building a team. And why I'm doing this podcast? I'm doing this podcast because I'm building a team for school. I'm sending this email to find you and to find inspiration, and maybe some guys from the chat will join the school. So we'll be a team. So I'll not be alone. Just like your students are not. Yes, just like your students are not alone on doing things in the course, I will not be alone in this journey of create a school. And I believe that from chaos will emerge some kind of a structure in the coming months. We'll see.
For sure it will, and I hope it will.
I hope. Yeah,
I keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. But it requires some kind of suffering and struggles and sacrifices, all the bad words on us to create this kind of courses.
I think that I can understand you. Sometimes your expectations are really different from you, and you should spend more time at your home with your family. Yeah. But in fact, you have really a lot of things to do in your work, so it's not easy, and it's the same on my side. So still there are some sacrifices, but during the last half year, I think that it's much better. I really focused on the family, and it looks just okay. Nothing is as good as it should be, but probably it would never be, even if I would focus entirely on my job. So even now, all of the courses or all the videos for this edition of courses should be recorded, but of course they are not recorded. Not every video are recorded yet. But anyway, I will be publishing them just in some time slots. I still have some time to do it.
Okay, I think.
But anyway, I have a backup plan. I still have videos from the previous edition, so if anything goes wrong, I will tell people that here you have videos from previous edition, and you'll have this one a little bit later, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, and they will probably understand it.
People in such a community can really forgive you many things, and you even don't expect what can they forgive you really. In the first edition, there was one, let's call it fuck up. So in the middle of the course, I realized that there is too much work from my side, and also my child got sick, and I really didn't have time to check all the homeworks, and I still needed to produce, to be live on the next sessions. And I needed a break, so I asked for it, and I even allowed people to resign because it's not to what they signed up. And only 2 people resigned because of this reason. For rest of them, it was okay to shift the course by 1 month later. And during that month, I was able to somehow catch up with all that stuff. And also, I need to thank Mateusz, my co-trainer, who really helped me with this. He made tremendous work on doing code reviews. Right now, I try to automate even more with this continuous integration, not to have a situation like this. Automate as much as possible from the beginning. It's the best hint.
Yeah, automations. Really? At the beginning? I'm a master of do things that don't scale method. So you do everything on your own, and then maybe it depends. Automation, because automation takes time. Yes. Creating the scenarios.
So it depends on your approach. You can go with the automations from the beginning, which can save you a lot of time, and nothing will work in 100% of cases. But for sure, you will have more time after or during the course. But with first edition, anyway, probably it's better to improvise and check one by one on students how much work is it to work with them. Have a smaller group and check it just organically, and you will know. And after that, you know what to automate, because you may even don't know what to automate if you don't have any input from them. And if you see that their feedback, their homeworks, how does it look like, it will help you with automation.
Actually, there is one guy in Poland who also doing online courses, as well as Cohort and Self-based, like Grzegorz Róg from EduWeb. And he is like the automation master. Yes, he automates everything in his business, in his life even. And he's doing courses about automation, and I'm thinking maybe the next podcast I will invite him to talk also how he is, how he automates everything.
It would be good to see that.
Yeah, and even if you think about school and about this brave concept, if we are looking for increasing percentage of money for instructors, are looking for some savings, and the processes and automation can probably amazingly reduce costs of launching new courses. So we will have probably in the process like hundreds of courses, and there are really similar scenarios. And I believe that many processes will run on autopilot there.
Okay. By the way, you mentioned we are talking about these automations. What do you think about solutions like there is one Synthesia.io, where you can, in fact, if you are doing online courses, you may not even personally appear in those courses, but AI will create your avatar of just reading the text that some copywriter may have just typed in. What do you think about this, and do you think it will be common in online courses or not?
Actually, we are experimenting in the studio with Unreal Engine a lot, and we will be ready with some really cool demos in 1 month or so. We are. I see that in the chat is Bart Barlowski also. He's from my team, and we are working on this stuff. So yeah, the technology is expanding at a pace of imaginable pace. This technology of generating avatars and stuff like this, especially MetaHuman, it's amazing. And what I see, for sure, it will change game development, probably prototyping, storyboarding, stuff like this, maybe advertising business. In terms of education, I think it will. It may find adoption in corporate learning scenarios, because corporations needs to create lots of videos about boring things, and they also always have problems with instructors and with employees, because employees don't have time to present in front of the camera and stuff like this. So I think that they will experiment with using something like MetaHuman to present some corporate stuff.
Nice. I think that those things are emotionless, so you will not see any passion in those avatars.
There are no
at least
passion
not
in
the beginning.
compliance courses, corporate courses. Yes, there are no passion in compliance courses of corporations, stuff like this. It's like
something
like
that people immediately see is the passion if you are just talking to them and gestures, anything.
I don't think that we will be as instructors with passion. I believe that you and me are examples of instructors that have passion for teaching, that make mistakes during lessons, but actually people like it. That is a more human approach to education, and it will be stronger and stronger. I don't think it will be super valuable skill to in the world of avatars, to be probably. So it's philosophical maybe question, but I'm not afraid about it.
Do you plan to use maybe VR with this Unreal engine, to move the camera and the background will change?
We are doing it, and actually for a few months we had some cool productions for clients actually on December, when we used Unreal Engine to display like some kind of a backgrounds, and there was sound effects and all in real time, and starting actually tomorrow we will put it in the next level. This is a huge topic. But
does this background move if you move the camera to have the parallax effect?
Yes. Actually, in our studio, we are. The whole concept is to create to be in the studio, even in the small studio, but people will feel that you are in the much bigger space. It's like you are it's somewhere else, and they cannot distinguish it from is it real or is it unreal? It's like for them it's the same, and this is amazing because it dramatically reduces costs of production, because in video production lots of costs are related to building actually sets, scenography, moving people from location to location, gear from location to location. And if you can do everything in one place in the studio, it makes it way cheaper So, producers can earn more money, but viewers doesn't care. So everyone are happy. And for sure, virtual production stuff is going to be big, and we are betting on it. And also my new course actually about professional video production, educational production, will also include virtual production module, when we will teach our students how to, in their small studio, install Unreal Engine and do some cool stuff with it to impress our clients.
Oh, nice.
Every day I have a client who asks about Unreal Engine right now. So also awareness is bigger and bigger of the technology. Huge topic, sorry.
Times.
Yeah. Well, so I think that we are passing right now 3 hours. So it's good to summarize. Guys, if you have any questions on the chat, please ask it now, or we will go to sleep. Yeah. I hope that you found this useful, entertaining, inspiring. For us, I think it was. Łukasz, do you like it?
It was.
Yeah, it was nice conversation.
Yeah, it was really nice to talk with you. I feel that we really have the same values, and I guess that it's the most important if you would like to cooperate in future. And I see it in the same way. I would like to produce a course at your studio with this Unreal Engine, but I still don't have an idea how to put it into typical programming lessons, maybe just by moving some blocks. But I guess it's not as interactive. Maybe while I am just describing something, then in the background, I can have the result of working algorithm, something like that.
Actually, what I'm experimenting in is I have a giant screen, like 150-inch screen with a laser projector. And what I like to do right now is I display a code on the screen, and I walk on this to the studio. I can move to the screen. I can show something on the screen. I can show the code. It's not like I'm sitting in front of the laptop and talking. I can move. I like moving, So I can move. I can I can feel the code, But this is something, you will see. Guys, if you are interested about teaching new methods of sharing your knowledge, please follow also me on LinkedIn or sign up to my newsletter. Yeah.
I can recommend Bartek's newsletter. That's how we met.
Yeah. Bart is writing on the chat that we should run this kind of session on Clubhouse. Maybe I like this YouTube old school approach for discussions because it will last. So we will see. Maybe 100 or 200 more people will watch it this week. Yeah. So thanks again, Łukasz, for approving this invitation. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I hope that your Coder School will grow, that you will attract maybe new instructors, and I'm really happy that I found you, and already you opened my mind to some ideas that I was afraid, like this gamification, continuous improvements methods, and community. Like
one of the key.
Yes, extremely supportive community is the key of successful cohort-based course, and this distinguish it from self-based courses. And it's worth.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you, Bartek, for inviting me. I am very pleased to be your first guest in your new podcast.
Yeah.
I also find this talk very useful, and I think that you also try to implement some new ideas, I will for sure put them on my list and check if I can also improve something in my courses. So once again, it was a really great session for me as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't have a jingle, but maybe next time we'll have some music. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. See you next time on the next episodes. So, bye-bye.